The Simpsons Hit and Run, a classic game. Now, how can we make this game very hard, or very interesting rather? I know. I'll try beating the game using only one vehicle. But which vehicle? There's so many choices. Well, I've got all of them. I've got all 80 of them, 80 odd of them. Just over 80. It's about 83, 84, whatever. Who cares? There's a lot. I've been watching a lot of J-Rose 11, beating the whole game as just one Pokemon. As if he's a new channel, that they're not in any way. But I want to do something similar. I can't do anything for Ashton or Joe, which is, of course, who I am. I'm the Joe guy. I look nothing like Joe, I look more like Dampe. That's a reference will go over many people's heads. Woo! But no. Shah, Simpsons Hit and Run, I love that game. And with the power of the Forced Car mod on the PC version of all things, I can play the entire game with one car. Which one do we start with though? The obvious choice is the funny pink Family Sedan, naturally. However, there are 3 priorities in this challenge and in this series. For each of these vehicles to complete, they must try and complete each of these 3 challenges. The first challenge is 1. They must complete all 50 of the main story missions. Number 2, they must try and complete all 7 bonus missions. And number 3, they must try and beat as many of the 21 races as possible. With that being said, I'm your host, Manda Sanj, yes, that is how you say it, and welcome to the bottom of the shower. Subject 1, the Family Sedan. Now let's take a look at the Family Sedan real quick before we get into level 1 proper. Gets you through level 1 completely fine, totally fine. Stat-wise, 2 out of 10 speed, 3 out of 10 acceleration, 5 out of 10 toughness, and 8 out of 10 handling. Not a bad car by any means. Now, I'm going to be breezing through level 1 for a simple reason. Level 1 is designed to be fully beatable with only the Family Sedan. So, forgive how short this might be. But we will quickly go over the missions. The tutorial mission, Cola Caper, is impossible to lose, so that's easy. 1-1 is a very easy race with Skinner, not a problem. 1-2 is one of the game's many collectathons, it's a very easy one. 1-3 is when the game gets a bit more interesting, because in the regular game, the game expects you to use the Plow King for this mission, to destroy Smithers' car, Mr. Burns' limo. But we have the funny pink Family Sedan. Still, Smithers' car here is still very weak, and the sedan, having average toughness, is more than capable of destroying it. 1-4 is a totally free mission, as it's entirely on foot. 1-5 is another easy mission, it's a very easy follow mission. Lots of rubber banding here. 1-6 is the first mission that in the regular game is a forced car mission. This is exactly what it sounds like. In certain missions in the regular game, you'll be forced to use a specific vehicle. In the case of 1-6, you're supposed to use the Cannonero. The Cannonero, for reference, is the level 4 starting vehicle. Way better than any car you will ever have in level 1. But again, even with the Family Sedan, the humble Family Sedan, we are more than capable of stopping Jasper from his wicked ways of supplying video games to children. 1-7 is a pretty long race that takes you around about the entire map, more or less. And the magic door at the power plant stops you from going through and cheesing the whole race. However, by simply reversing your car into the door and resetting the car, you will spawn inside of the door, and then you reverse, and then you cheese the race. Car resetting is a very good trick. I don't know how it works, it's to do with boundaries and boundary breaks and finding secret discoveries in our favourite video games. But I'm not a smart man. I'm just an idiot. I'm a monkey man. You see? I press the button, my car disappears, and sometimes it appears in a place that benefits me. To me, it's magic, and I'd like to keep it that way. Still, I did do the race legitimately, just to show that it's possible, but for future reference in these future episodes and stuff, I will probably just be trying to cheese this race, because level 1 is not going to be where the issues lie, really ever. So if I can get through level 1 at a faster pace, I'm going to do it. I also did level 1 races, they were all completely doable and totally fine. And then level 1B, the bonus mission, is in my opinion the hardest mission in level 1, but still Aside from the tricky placement and potentially getting hit and run in the tobacco field, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's very doable. Getting into level 2 now. 2-1 has a rather cheeky escape section. It's the first escape mission in the game. And Skinner, Principal Skin Rash here, is very fast and very, very aggressive. However, he can be cheesed. If you drive through this car wash, his pathfinding goes, and then you simply take a right and you go through the shortcut, and then you just drive to where you need to go. And 9 times out of 10, you'll just win the mission like really easily. It's totally free. The scariest bit is actually at the beginning when Skin Rash is ramming into you at full force, full pelt, whatever. But once you go through the car wash, it's totally fine. 2-2 is another collectathon with an evil escape section at the end from Mr. Wiggum. Mr. Wiggum is very fast, very aggressive, but we're driving through this little tiny gap near the Tilton World. Again, his pathfinding goes a bit wonky, and sometimes you can just drive in a big straight path, just a straight line to the very end, and you'll win the mission. I didn't get that, but I did manage to pass it on my first try. Not as clean a getaway as I would have liked, but it worked. 2-3 is a pretty tough race. It's very short. There's not really a lot of opportunities to overtake the opponent, but even though I played like an idiot on my first try, on my second try, I did beat the mission. 2-4 is a really boring mission. Most of it is just a follow mission. It's not really interesting. Lots of rubber banding again, just like in 1-5. Then there's a race at the end with Snake. You can do a bit of a car reset trick, and it gives you a massive lead over Snake. I didn't do that for some reason, and I raced him legitimately, and I regretted it very quickly because it was a very close race. It was a first try, but it was very, very close. 2-5, yet again, more collectathon stuff, and another escape section at the end. Driving around the back of the Krusty Burger and then just driving her to the hospital is a good way of getting rid of a poo. 2-6 is another collectathon mission with a huge 4-minute time limit. It's a very easy mission and a very good mission because it's got amazing music, and there's 30 monkeys running around Springfield. 30 of them, in fact. Once you know where the monkeys are, this is a pretty free mission anyway. First try. 2-7, sellouts. Destroy 4 cell cars. They're not that fast, they're not that strong, and the sedan is more than capable of destroying all 4 of them with a lot of time to spare. First try. Now, when it comes to talking about levels 2 and onwards, I will just be going over the missions for now, and after we do the level 7 missions, I'm going to talk about the bonus missions and the races, just to make it interesting by leaving the hardest stuff until the end. Level 3. 3-1 is an easy race against a nerd car, way easier than 2-3. There's a lot more shortcuts to take in level 3. It's a much nicer level. They did a cool car reset trick, not necessary, but first try, easy peasy. 3-2. Level 3 is full of these car reset gimmicks and full of nice shortcuts. This mission's really easy. Just drive around, talk to Millhouse a couple times, kick him off a cliff, boom. 3-3, a bump and collect mission, just like in 1-6. There's very few of these missions, to be honest, and I find this mission to be pretty tricky, to be honest, mainly because I got very good at just doing the speedrun strat for a long time, and then I forgot how to do the speedrun trick, and then I just forgot how to play the game. I just forgot how to play the game normally. But still, I beat this on my second try. Cletus is definitely a faster driver than Jasper was in the C-Bone, the Bone Storm truck, and a bit trickier as well. But still, second try, fine. 3-4, destroy 3 chase sedans. Fine, they're faster than the cell cars were, but there's a lot of places to get them destroyed really quickly. First try. Not the worst thing in the world. 3-5 is a pretty tough mission, but it's very short. But it's very luck dependent too. You're chasing after Snake, and he's just randomly dropped 3 items. Great. Where he drops them and when he drops them is entirely up to him. Now there's general zones in which he will drop the item, but where the item will drop is just random. Sometimes it can be really nice. Sometimes it can be in front of a wall, and then you pick up the item and you crash into a wall, and then you curse very loudly because Snake. This could have been a really problematic mission. I got very lucky and beat it on my second try. And this mission to me in a slow car is luck based. To be fair, this is a forced car mission in the regular game, and you're supposed to use the police car, which is a level 5 vehicle, I believe. Level 5 or level 6 vehicle. I think it's a level 5 vehicle you can actually unlock it in, which is what I mean when I say that. And the Family Sedan is a level 1 vehicle, and somehow, still, second try. Impressive. 3-6 is another pretty tricky mission. It's a collectathon with a rather tight time limit. Even with level 3's default card, the Malibu Stacy, this can still be quite a tricky mission, but I did some fancy driving. Beat this mission on my first try. Don't know how, I just managed it. Great. 3-7. Destroy a big limo. Fantastic. Use the famous trick of trapping him down here. I didn't do it in the way I wanted to do it, but it still worked and he still destroyed him. Fantastic. Easy. Way better than chasing him around. The limo has a lot of mass and the sedan has not enough mass to deal with him. After that, get on the boat in whatever way you want to get on the boat, talk to Bart, win. Great. Level 4. 4-1. Wiggum doesn't wait, he just zooms ahead, but it's not too bad if you know where to go. The Don't Truck bit is another bump and collect mission. Get 10 drops in 2 minutes. It's plenty of time. Especially if you can park sideways and get him to constantly bump into you, and then he'll constantly drop his stuff. Which, of course, I didn't manage to do, but still I got a first try. Tricky, but I'm still doing it. 4-2. Follow Cletus around and collect his things he drops. I almost failed the mission, but somehow managed to pull it back, giving me another first try. 4-3 is a lot of driving and a lot of collecting. The ketchup packets here are in some pretty tricky spots, but this is, in the vanilla game, a forced car mission in Cletus' pickup truck, which is also a level 1 vehicle. So, you know, either way I'm using an underpowered vehicle for this level, and the very easy escape section at the end didn't really provide much challenge either, so first try. 4-4 is probably the shortest mission in the game, and a very, very short race. Even though I was really slow and very bad when doing this race, first try, every time. 4-5, a long mission. Similar to 4-2, it's a follow and collect mission. I made a few errors, boo-boos along the way, but another first try. 4-6. This mission is intended to be done on foot anyway, so yeah, first try, not even a problem. 4-7, destroy 3 big Calder trucks. You might expect this to be a hard mission. I certainly was. And it was the only mission level 4 that I was actually worried about, but it wasn't that bad, to be honest. It wasn't that bad. I beat on my second try. Somehow, the Calder trucks for some reason aren't really as durable as you might expect them to be, despite being, you know, massive, massive dark sides. But hey ho. And of course, the escape bit at the end is trivial because you don't even have to deal with Wiggum's bollocks. You just go in your house and it'll disappear. The reason why this trick works, and I know why this trick works, is simple. The interiors of the level and the main map of the level are always loaded in together on the same bigger map. However, the interiors are way, way over there in the distance. So when you go into an interior while being chased, you immediately lose all heat, all anything. You just escape them instantly. Because you suddenly, in a single frame, basically, teleported from, I don't know, man, like London to, you know, Thailand. Of course it's not going to find you. Of course it works. Genius. They were easy missions. I'm going to skip over them. But level 5 gave us a challenge. 5-1, follow and collect. It's a pretty tough mission because rubber banding has gone out of the window by this point. The Calder truck does not mess about. Probably because you killed 3 of his brothers in the last mission. First try. I was really surprised. I thought this one would be a much harder mission, but no, first try. 5-2 is 2 escape sections back to back. Simply just drive back and forth between the hospital and the Krusty Burger, wherever, and you'll eventually just win the mission. First try. I've got no intelligent strategy of this. It's just drive back and forth until you win. Pretty rubbish mission. 5-3, a bump and collect. get 10 items in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Seems pretty tough, but the non-uploads minivan, which is the thing you're after, has wonky driving, which is a weird quirk of the game where certain vehicles might just start drifting and slipping around pretty randomly. It's a very strange choice. I don't know why it works. It just happens. It's a programming thing. Plus, also, the minivan seems to require a lot less contact and collision force, whatever the term may be, before it drops an item, as opposed to Jasper or especially Cletus. With Cletus in 3-3, you need to put some real welly into it to make him drop anything. But the minivan here, you can breathe on it and it'll drop a nappy. First try. 5-4. This was a tough one. It was the first mission to actually give me some real trouble. Now, the weird slalom donut collecting section at the beginning was pretty rough, but it wasn't actually the main challenge. The main challenge of the mission was the second half, where you're actually supposed to be following Mr. Wiggum. That was the problem. Level 2 and level 5 are set on the second of the maps. It's downtown Springfield. I think it's just downtown. Lots of highways here. Mr. Wiggum's police car has very fast acceleration and very good top speed, and the sedan, while not having the worst, doesn't have nearly the best either. Once you get onto this highway, Wiggum, no matter how far ahead you are, Wiggum will just zoom past you and leave you in the dust. I failed a few times on this, then I remembered the magic trick. Simply waiting on this part of the highway near the end of the mission allows you to pass without actually following him. Because it's not that bit that's the hard bit, it's the very ending bit, where you leave the highway and then go down to the, I think it's the west end or the east end, I can't remember what it's called. And Wiggum just zooms ahead of you and you can't catch up because you're too slow. But while waiting here, you'll pass the mission. Now, why does this work? Simple. I know why. Because technically you are near Wiggum, despite him being nowhere around you. But you're not together on a horizontal plane, but rather a vertical plane, rather two more or less parallel vertical planes. Almost. So you're next to him, you're in his proximity, but you're actually above him and not beside him. That's why this works. This mission took me 3 tries, which is probably a lot less than you thought, considering how much I talked up this mission. 5-5 is a tough mission. You've got just over 4 minutes to follow and collect rubbish from the garbage truck, then run around and collect more rubbish, and then get back to the DMV. It could have been a pretty scary mission. It's one that always makes me feel a little bit tense and a little bit clenched when I think about this mission, to be honest. But it was a fairly pleasant first try. I even took the scenic route back. 5-6, Quick Cache. A fun mission. Drive somewhere, escape Mr. Wiggum, have infinite time to destroy the big massive Humunga Bunga armoured truck, and then escape Wiggum again. But what was the issue here? It was Mr. Wiggum. Again, Mr. Wiggum being a problem, as per usual. Mr. Wiggum, in this first escape section, was an absolute menace, and I don't even know how I managed to evade him, to be honest. I just did, eventually. Great. The armor truck bit is completely fine. You have infinite time, and genuinely, you have infinite time. There is no time limit here. Or if there is, I don't think there is a time limit. Unless it's something like stupid, like 24 hours or something daft, I don't know. But no, there's no time limit here, so take your time with him. Just be very careful when bumping into him, because you ramming into him does a lot more damage to you than it does to the armored truck. And then, even the second escape section at the end of the mission, with Mr. Wiggum again, is a lot easier because you can do the 2-1 trick of just going through the car wash. And then the shortcut. So, yeah, completely fine. I beat this on my 3rd try. 5-7. A very fast-paced destruction mission against the Curator. This one was really, really down to the wire. It was a really tight race and a really tight mission. The Curator is really, really fast, to be honest. And even driving to the museum in the first place to really begin the mission is a pretty tight time limit. It's like 30 seconds or something. Somehow, by the skin of my teeth, by the skin of my scrot, I managed to get this on my first try. 6-1. Drive and collect the kids, go to Krusty Lou, Um, this is a forced vehicle mission in the original game. You use the school bus. Either way, you're in a slow vehicle, but it's a bit easier with a sedan because you can turn better than if you're in a big, massive, chunky school bus. First try. 6-2. The beginning section where you're following the itchy and scratchy truck is fine. The race could have been pretty annoying, but I got very, very lucky, and I think Krusty just kind of got stuck somewhere, and I won first try. A hollow victory, but a victory nonetheless. 6-3, an easy, very, very, very tedious follow mission. Follow Frink, first try, genius. 6-4. With a very tight initial time limit, it's pretty evil. This mission is full of quite tough time limits, to be honest. After getting to the brewery in 45 seconds, you have to collect 6 items from the stupidly fast tough truck in 2 minutes and 3 seconds. For some reason, it's 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Why? I'm not sure. This is, as far as I remember, the last bump and collect mission in the game. There's really not that many of them. I got this on my second try. On the first try, I had to reset because I wasn't going to make it to the brewery in time. And then somehow, by the skin of my teeth, I managed to beat this mission. And even on my second try, when I actually got to the brewery initially, I only had 3 seconds left, so it was pretty tight. 6-5, probably the toughest destruction mission in the game, in my opinion. You got about 3.5 minutes to try Skinner, and he's pretty fast and very durable. Once again, by the skin of my teeth, I had 3 seconds to spare. Beat on my second try. 6-6, the infamous set to kill. Car resetting makes this mission like way easier. Also, the trick that I didn't really employ much, which was kind of messing about with the camera, making it look back and forth. That resets traffic and pedestrians in front of you. That can be really, really useful when going across the boardwalk, which is generally where most people get hit and run, as a fair chunk of the mission takes place on the boardwalk. But you're gonna hate me for this because I got it on my first try. It was tense, yeah, sure. I'm not gonna say set to kill is an easy mission. I don't think it's the one that people should be looking out for in a challenge run like this. But you know, first try, it really impressive for set to kill. But it wasn't set to kill I was worried about. It was actually 6-7. This 6-7 was the problem to me. It's a short race, and you're against a very, very, very fast car. It's quite problematic. Even the boat reset trick that really helps you in set to kill doesn't really work here because you actually overshoot one of the last checkpoints you need to win the race, which is very annoying. However, I remembered the other trick, which is simply called do the race in the opposite direction. And I did that and I won. It took me 4 tries. The first 3 tries were trying to do the race properly. The 4th try was the trick, and the trick worked. But now, trying to do the 6-7, like legitimately, you ain't got a chance because there's no breathing room in this race. It's pretty tight. On to level 7. 7-1. A very fast-paced collectathon. Not that bad. First try. I actually found level 7 to be a lot easier than level 6. I think in these challenge runs that probably will be the case. Like the missions in level 7 I think will be way easier than the missions in level 5 or 6. Way easier. 7-2. Follow the black Farina to the power plant. It's a fast car and I'm in a very slow car. Tried to use all of my powers and the shortcuts I could, and there's a lot of shortcuts in level 7, so I make the most of it. Beat on my second try. Spoiler alert, it's the only mission level 7 that I didn't beat on my first try, was 7-2. How that works, I don't know. But that's just how it was. 7-3 is the first of the nuclear waste missions, and it's the easiest. Get from the power plant to the playground in 1 minute 40 and don't crash too bad. First try, no problem. 7-4. Escape the black car, which is very easy, and climb up to Mr. Burns, which is very hard when using a keyboard and mouse. Again, another easy first try. 7-5 is Alien Autopsy Part 1. It's actually the same mission as 7-3. Now, you wouldn't know this, but both missions have you going from the power plant to the playground in 1 minute 40 seconds with the nuclear waste. However, in the vanilla game, 7-3 is a forced vehicle mission where you use the hover car. 7-5, you can use whatever car you want. And because with this challenge, I'm always using the same car, it means that 7-3 and 7-5 are basically the exact same mission. Like they're pretty much identical. So 7-5, just like 7-3, first try. 7-6, Alien Autopsy Part 2. Escape the car. It's easy. Then get back to the playground in not 1 minute 40 seconds, but 1 minute 35 seconds. Woo! Very scary. But first try. 7-7, the last mission, Alien Autopsy Part 3. The infamous mission of the game alongside Set to Kill. Which one is more infamous? Depends on who you ask, to be honest. If you ask most people, it's probably Set to Kill. If you ask Nerd Cubed, it's definitely Autopsy Part 3. The race section in the first half of the mission was pretty tough, to be honest. The escape section is pathetically easy. And yeah, this was first try as well. First try. Genius. So the missions, a lot of them were actually quite easy, to be honest. Like, really quite easy. The two hardest missions, in most people's opinions, 6-6 and 7-7, were totally first tries. And it was level 5 where I struggled the most. But this means that the Family Sedan has conquered 50 of 50 missions. But how did it fare with the bonus stuff? B and 4B. I'm going to put all of these together because they're all basically the same missions. They're just collectathons, but with kind of tight time limits. 3B was definitely the tightest in terms of time limit, but these were all first tries. They weren't really much of a problem. Except, well, again, except for 3B. 5B, destroy the hover car. This one's a bit tougher. Hover cars are quite a fast thing to destroy. Managed to get it on my second try, which is very, very impressive. 6B, destroy the police car and then the milk truck. I managed this on my third try. This was a pretty tough destruction mission, to be honest. I don't know why I was struggling so much, but I just kind of was. But no, third try, not the worst thing in the world. And 7B, very tight time limits here, the tightest time limits for any of the collectathon missions in this game. And once I managed to make the magic jump over the top of the Krusty Burger, I beat it on my third try. That's all 7 bonus missions done too. But the real challenge of these challenges are going to be the races, and I'll save these for the last. Ooh. Level 2 checkpoint race. A tough race, definitely a tough race. The Malibu Stacy, which is the rival car of level 2, is pretty fast, and the rival cars are going to be the problems in these races. They're very, very scary. And there's a lot of highway. There's a lot of highway in the checkpoint race in level 2. Lots of highway. And a little bit like what the case was in, I think it was 5-4. Highway and the Family Sedan against another vehicle on the highway with much better acceleration and top speed is just going to be problematic. I beat this on my 11th try through sheer dumb luck and brute force by just pushing Lisa away into some kind of position I don't even remember, but it definitely wasn't a skill-based victory. It was just me being a gorilla. Level 2 circuit race, similar to last race. It was a tough one, but there was just enough for me to work with that I could beat this mission using the power of skill and not the power of luck. And that's what matters the most. So whilst the rival races are the most problematic ones, they are because they're the fastest. They are your actual competition. The other two AI races are just both juggernaut. So you're against Quicksilver and 2 Juggernauts. Because they will just ram into you and destroy you with the force of 1,000 gods. It's unbelievable. Somehow I beat this on my second try though. Level 2 time trial. A much easier race. Nothing but pure skill. Managed to beat this on my first try. Level 3 time trial. It's a pretty tricky time trial. Mainly because of the physics. The Family Sedan was just flip-flopping about all over the place whilst on the boardwalk, and he just couldn't stay to the ground. It was really annoying actually. Somehow managed to beat it on my second try, which is very fortunate because it could have taken ages. Level 3 checkpoint race. And this is where I must concede for the first time in this challenge, and I am allowed to concede if I can see that a mission requires either A, far too much luck that I will never get, or 2, way better skill than what I have currently, then I can concede. I have to give it a jolly good shot, but if I know that I am outmatched, I will humbly concede and throw in the towel. And I did with the level 3 checkpoint race. I did with a few of these races because some of them are ridiculous. I know Zenith did them. I can't do them. I'm not that good. The rival racer in level 3 is Marge in the Canyonero. And the Canyonero is not generally that fast of a car, but here it's like the Mach 5. It's ridiculous. You have to get really, really good at this race. It's very short and there's really not a lot of checkpoints. Not checkpoints, shortcuts. Sorry. There's not a lot of shortcuts in this race. Sometimes near the end, she spins out, and you may be able to push her somewhere. I never got this golden goose egg of a chance, though, so no, I just gave up. I gave up after 30 attempts. It was the most attempted mission I did. Because after this, I wised up and realised what is luck and what is skill, but most importantly, what do I have? Do I have the luck? And do I have the skill? For this, it was a no. Level 3 circuit race. A pretty dumb race. Most of the time the AI will just crash into each other and blow each other up, and it's just an absolute chaotic race. I got pretty lucky with this one, first try. Level 4 checkpoint race. I don't remember much of this race at all. It's a one-on-one with Frink in the hover car, which is pretty cool. I beat on my second try. It was a race that existed. Level 4 circuit race. What could have been a pretty dangerous race against Apu in the Longhorn, the nuclear waste flatbed, and the garbage truck turned into a pretty pleasant first try. And also, the level 4 time trial, which could have been a pretty tight and very nasty race, was also a nice first try. So, compared to level 3, and level 2 even, level 4's races were far kinder to me, where they were far more manageable. Level 5 circuit race. The rival racer of level 5 is Bart in the Farini. But alongside him in this race is the ambulance and the Vote Quimby truck, which are pretty big vehicles, and they move incredibly quickly. There's also a really stupid bit of the course where you're intended to basically just drive into the oncoming racers, who are massive and take up like an entire one of the 2 lanes. It's ridiculous. In fact, it was because of this that I actually managed to win on my 4th try, because Bart got stuck behind one of the big boys. Level 5 checkpoint race. A really brutal one-on-one with Bart, and with an overwhelming amount of highway. Most of this race is highway. I could get in front of him pretty easily. There was a lot of shortcuts at first, but once it goes to the second half of the race on the highway, you're screwed. The Farini has way too much acceleration and way too high top speed for you to deal with. This was just luck. It was just... I was playing as best as I possibly could, and Bart was giving me no mercy. There was nothing I could do to win. Unless Bart just despawned or got out of his car and had a pace. Like, there was nothing I could have done. So, after 5 tries, I gave up. I realised, no, this was a luck race. This was a luck-based challenge. And that's not a challenge. Rolling the dice until you get the specified number, that's not a challenge, that's just luck. There's no skill involved with that. Level 5 time trial. A really brutal time trial. There's potholes, there's silliness, there's just stupid rubbish everywhere. I got really, really close to winning. But I just knew in my heart of hearts I didn't have the skill to beat this race. I gave up after 13 tries. Why 13? Just so happened to be how many there was. I didn't count how many tries I did. Just that's how many there were, 13. Level 6 circuit race. This is the infamous one. The one with Homer. And it's rough. Really rough. I mean, even in general in the actual game, this is a pretty rough race. I only gave about 5 tries because I knew it was just going to be a case of either I'd win by just either destroying Homer's car, or Homer destroys himself, or Homer goes and has a piss. It was another luck race. Again, that's not a challenge. I'm not going to throw my head... Here's the problem, right? It's like I'm looking at a wall, and instead of, overcoming this wall and climbing over it, doing anything else, my only thought of getting over this wall is to throw myself at the wall until it inevitably falls down. That's nothing. I don't grow from that. I don't grow as a player, as a person, in any conceivable way. I mean, why would I grow as a person from playing Shah is the main question. But I don't grow from that. I just lose time. It's dumb luck. So no, I concede. Level 6 time trial. This is a pretty vicious time trial. A pretty tough one. To be honest, I probably could have done this, but again, I knew that my skill was being tested. I knew I was not good enough for this race, so I conceded after 7 attempts. That one I do feel a bit annoyed at, because I probably could have maybe given it more of a shot, but no. If I couldn't even beat the one in level 5, how would I beat the one in level 6? Level 6 checkpoint race. I got this on my second try. I beat this on my second try. It was very, very lucky. Homer got himself stuck on the ramp at the end. A dirty, empty, hollow victory. But a victory nonetheless. I feel nothing from this. I didn't beat through skill, through determination or power of will. I beat this race purely because Homer was an idiot and got stuck on a ramp. No. Most people would feel really satisfied by, I beat the hard challenge because the AI just gave up. But it was like, it's like being a kid and playing Mortal Kombat 9. And, Shao Kahn's there, and then you lose to Shao Kahn, and then you beat Shao Kahn because Shao Kahn's AI just realizes that you're sucking ass and just becomes really easy on you. That's not satisfying. It's satisfying when you're like 10, like I was, doing that. But I said I haven't played it since, really. But no, I don't get any satisfaction from this. If I beat it because of pure skill, then that's fine. But I only beat this race because of luck, and that's not satisfying. That's not a satisfying victory. Level 7 circuit race. A tough race with some very tough cars. You've got the big hearse, the ghost ship, and the coffin car. I beat this on my third try. The cars go so fast, and it's really, really common that they'll just spin out or crash into each other or do something else that's just really stupid. And I got lucky and beat it on my third try. Although, to be honest, that's generally how you beat it anyway, whilst just playing it normally, because they do just crash out a lot because of how fast they're going. Level 7 time trial. Surprisingly, not a very easy, but an easy, let's say, first try. It was tight. This is a tight race in general, but it was beatable. And then the level 7 checkpoint race. This was one where I just deemed it to be either a case of, number one, more importantly, lack of skill. I'm not good enough of a player. Or two, it was a case of luck. Disappointing, I know. I gave it 13 goes. Why 2 of the races had 13 attempts? I don't know. Really don't know. But no, I was using all the shortcuts I could, and no matter how far ahead I was of the hearse, it would just zoom past me every single time. I was getting so close so often. But no, I just couldn't do it. I had to concede. Maybe in time I could go back and add another 2 victories, but in the end that is 15 of 21 races completed. And the results are in. 50 of 50 missions completed, earning a golden mission medallion. 7 of 7 bonus missions completed, earning the bonus rosette. And 15 of 21 races completed, which sadly is just too little to get the bronze trophy. Very, very close. A very good effort. If I was capable of doing those 2 races, maybe 3 of them in fact, it may have gone up to a bronze, maybe even a silver, but I'm afraid not. I think my math is completely off. I think it's yeah, it's completely off. Anyway, who cares? Ow! I've dropped something on my foot. I do apologise here about forfeiting some of the races, but again, my main goal in this series is to see if the main 50 missions are beatable. Everything else is bonus, and whether it's possible in every car or not, I don't know that. I'm not that good enough of a player or knowledgeable of a player to know if certain races, certain challenges are even beatable as certain vehicles. I don't even know that. So maybe I can get some expert opinions or any other kind of opinion on if it is doable or not. But this is purely what I can do, and to be honest, this is a lot more than I thought I could do. So I'm still bloody chuffed with myself that I could do this much. But do expect that more forfeits and more concedes, whatever the term may be for that, will happen in the future. I do apologise. But still, the Family Sedan is by no means the worst vehicle in the game. It easily got me through the main story, and to be honest, it got me through most of the races. Some of them by luck, sure, but still a good chunk of the races. But we'll just have to see what kind of dog water vehicle we get next time. And I'll take you to the wheel of vehicles, and let's spin the wheel. The donut truck. Well then. I've been your host, Manda Sanj, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Ta-ta. Well, that was long, wasn't it? 50 minutes! Fucking hell.